My stepmother threw away all my late mother's belongings while I was at camp, so I made her pay, and it cost them their house. Dad met Sharon 8 months after Mom died. They married 6 months later. I was 15, angry at the world, and Sharon made it clear she didn't want to be anyone's stepmother. She wanted to be Dad's wife in a house that didn't feel like a shrine to his ex. The first year was small battles. Sharon redecorated room by room, claiming it was helping us all move forward. Mom's favorite reading chair, donated because it was depressing. The kitchen Mom had painted sunny yellow, redone in gray because yellow was dated. I saved what I could in my room and the basement studio, which Dad had promised Sharon wouldn't touch. My mom died when I was 14 after a 3-year battle with cancer. She was an artist, a successful one who'd illustrated children's books, and had her work in galleries. Before she got too sick, she converted our basement into a studio, where she spent her last good months creating pieces for me and my sister. She told us these paintings were our inheritance, our college funds, our connection to her after she was gone. When I was 17, I was accepted into a 3-week engineering camp at MIT, a huge deal that essentially guaranteed admission if I performed well. My girlfriend Emma helped me pack while Sharon made comments about how some people had to work for opportunities, instead of having everything handed to them. The night before I left, I went to Mom's studio in the basement to sit with her paintings one more time. Everything was there. Her easels, her papers, 63 finished paintings, hundreds of sketches, her antique brush collection from her grandmother, her supplies. I took photos of everything on my phone, just feeling close to her. Sharon saw me coming up from the basement and said, "Enjoy camp. When you get back, this house is going to feel like a real home. Finally." I should have known. 3 weeks later, Emma picked me up from the airport. She was crying before I even got in the car. "Don't go home yet," she said. "Come to my house first. I need to show you something." Emma had been checking on our house while my dad was on a business trip. She'd noticed a dumpster in our driveway on day 2 of my camp. Then she saw workers carrying things from the basement. She started recording everything on her phone. The videos showed Sharon directing workers to throw away everything in Mom's studio. Not just throw away, destroy. They broke the easels into pieces. They torn the canvases out of frames. They threw loose paintings into the dumpster like trash. Mom's antique brushes, some worth hundreds of dollars each, snapped in half. Her papers, including original sketches for published books, were shoved into garbage bags. Emma had confronted Sharon, who said, "This is my house now, and I'm tired of living with a ghost. Besides, it's just old art supplies and amateur paintings taking up space." Emma then did something brilliant. She called the police, claiming she witnessed a burglary in progress. When they arrived, she showed them the workers destroying property. The police made them stop, but by then, 2/3 of Mom's studio was already in the dumpster. Emma climbed into that dumpster in her dress and heels, pulling out what she could save. About 20 paintings, some torn, some covered in garbage. When I got home from Emma's house, Sharon was sitting in the living room with a glass of wine, the basement door open, the studio completely empty except for the smell of fresh paint. She'd already started converting it to a home gym. "Oh good, you're home," she said casually. "I did you a favor and cleared out that depressing hoard in the basement. You're 18 next year. Time to stop clinging to childhood." I called Dad immediately. He was in meetings in Tokyo. When I told him what happened, he went silent, then said, "Sharon told me you'd agreed to clean it out before college." I hung up on him and called the police. Here's what Sharon didn't know. Mom's art wasn't just sentimental value. 3 of her paintings had sold at gallery shows for $5,000 each. Her illustrated books were still in print, making her estate worth something. The antique brush collection alone was appraised at $8,000 for insurance purposes. I had photos of everything, including appraisal documents Mom had filed 2 years before she died. The police took my statement and Emma's videos. The destroyed property value totaled $53,000, making it a felony. Sharon tried to claim she didn't know the items had value, but Emma's video clearly showed her saying, "I don't care if these are worth something," when a worker asked about the signed paintings. Sharon was arrested 3 days later at her Pilates class. Dad flew home immediately, furious at me. He said I humiliated his wife, destroyed his marriage, turned him into the laughingstock of his company. I told him Sharon had destroyed my mother's legacy, and he'd chosen to believe her lies over protecting his daughter's inheritance. The criminal case is ongoing, but the civil case has already settled. Sharon had to pay me $53,000 plus emotional damages. Dad had to take out a loan against the house to cover it, because Sharon had already spent their savings on renovations. Dad and Sharon are working through things in couples therapy. I'm living with Emma's family my senior year. The 20 paintings Emma saved are in a climate-controlled storage unit that I pay for with money from the settlement.